Stock markets are starting to slip. Russia's raising rates higher than expected to battle inflation. The SEC going after Ripple Labs for $770 million. I don't think that's going to stick. But we got at least a year of this crap left, everyone. So let's buckle up and see what the future holds. Jeremy Touche supporting the channel big time. Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy says, when are these crypto companies going to start playing the same game as the SEC and bring lawsuits against them? Government overreach is so disgusting. Calls for president. You don't want me for president. I'm not a clean cat. I'm also not boring. I don't think I would fit. You know, you've got Deaton and over 74,000 XRP holders going after the SEC for damage. That's a good start. But one of the big reasons why these companies don't want to go back after the SEC is they don't want to poke the bear. And they know that the SEC has protection. Because think, the SEC, right, the head of the SEC was put in place by Biden. So if Biden's not telling Gensler, yo, you need to rein your shit in, yo, you need to play nicer in the sandbox, they're not going to stop. So you're not going to go after the SEC right now because the SEC has government protection. So Jeremy, I hope that answers your question, sir. Bitcoin sitting at 34,163, ETH 1793. Will ETH hit 2,000 anytime soon? Will ETH hit 2,000 this year? Let me know, everyone, down below. XRP 55.2. We're going to talk big XRP today because Deaton's got insight for how long this could take. But it taking long, I think, is a good thing for XRP. XLM sitting at 11.3. HBAR 5.1. Ooh, not looking too good for the market, everyone. Russia hikes interest rates in a fight against inflation. Russia has hiked interest rates as policymakers step up their fight against inflation and labor shortage. Oh, sounds very much like the United States. Labor shortage, inflation issues. This was double the increase expected by economists and takes rates to their highest level since the early stages of the Ukraine invasion in 2022. In a statement, Russia's central bank said, current inflationary pressures have significantly increased to a level above the Bank of Russia's expectations. Steadily rising domestic demand is increasingly exceeding the capabilities to expand the production of goods and the provision of services. So, we talked a lot of times about US, Eurozone, UK action inflation. Russia's dealing with it. Now, they're raising the rates. This thing that the monetary condition with raising rates across the globe, everyone's doing it right now. They're all fighting it. What's crazy, though, is Russia now just blowing their expectations out with how much they're raising it. Just wanted to throw that out there as globally we are having some economic softness show up. Well, now speaking of economic softness, S&P 500 ends its lowest since May. Oh, because of bad earnings. See, companies now are starting to report their quarterly earnings and they're not good. They're reporting their quarterly 3 earnings. U.S. stocks booked back-to-back losses on Thursday with the S&P 500 index extending into the lowest level since May. While the NASDAQ slid even further into correction territory following another batch of disappointing mega-cap company earnings. Not good. So you've got stock market eroding, okay? Eroding from its highs. A lot of people out there thinking, hey, these asset classes are overvalued. I've said that with crypto. I believe crypto is heavily overvalued. Deaton's out. Why is Deaton out? Because I want you to think of Library. Deaton's got some good points. Library, the SEC originally came after them for $23 million. They settled for a fine of $130,000. Now, a lot of you are thinking, yo, Ripple Labs, they're going to settle for a small fine like that. The reason Library was able to settle for such a small fine is because they were ending their business. So they were like, yo, we don't have the money to pay the big fine, but we're going to shut down our business anyway. SEC, are you cool with that? And the SEC is like, well, if you're going to shut down, we won't anyways, right, girlfriend? And that's why their fine got minimalized. So now when it comes to XRP, Ripple Labs versus the SEC, SEC throws a big number out. Ripple Labs is going to kind of try to fight it. But we're probably going to have to go to what, everyone? Trial, jury of peers. But here's what Deaton says about timing. And this is not good, but it's also really good. It's not good because delays cost Ripple Labs, right? Any delays happen, you got to pay lawyers' fees, court costs, etc. That's not good. Also slows down business development, especially in the United States. That's not good either. But the good thing is, though, is that this case, though, is keeping XRP in the news all the time. So you're going to have lots more opportunities to play these pumps. I want you just to think of XRP and XLM. What big news out there for XLM is happening every couple of months? Really nothing. But with XRP and Ripple, there's always some court action. There's always some court drama to stir up that could pump up the price. There's always some news. See what Deaton's got to say. The SEC is pissed and embarrassed and wants $770 million worth of flesh. What people need to understand is that penalty phase is like a second case requiring more depositions, interrogations, requests for production of documents, emails, bank statements, contracts, ODL transactions, etc. So, yes, this is going to cost Ripple Labs way more because it is essentially like a second case. The SEC strategy, Jeremy and all of you others out there listening, is to delay. The SEC delays, it ties up funding for these companies, business development. They get to choke them while others get to, yes, have a stronger foothold. So the SEC is delaying the crypto market to let traditional finance get a better grip. Ripple wants to drastically reduce the $770 million by trying to exclude ODL transactions, reduce salaries, expenses, costs, etc. The SEC sought $23 million from Library. It took 8 months of additional litigation before the judge ultimately issued a fine of $130,000. I don't expect the final judgment issued by Torres until late summer at the earliest. It literally could take a full year before an appeal is filed in this case. 17th of January 2024 is the oral argument for Coinbase. A ruling is likely 60 to 120 days later. That will play in the news as well. So yes, I know it's bad because you've got the case action. But remember, because of the case, though, is a reason for a lot of these pumps. And a lot of you out there have been making good green on these short-term pumps. Because we know if the case is going to take another year, you're probably, everyone, going to have time to play pumps and dumps. Now, looking at the chart up on the screen, okay, look. Recently, yes, we've bounced up from 54.5. If we can keep these movements here, and this is what I look for, okay, everyone? When I look for these moves, when we get to, like, these numbers, I'm looking to see, does this bounce back in a short time period? Right? Am I seeing an hour of declines? Am I seeing 2 hours of declines? What's the volume looking like on these declines? What is the rest of the market looking like? Is the stock market starting to pull back? Are we starting to see other things pull back here? I got a smile on my face, but it's not because of the Ripple Labs news and the SEC fine. The reason I got a smile is because there was an auction yesterday and Daddy bought some gold and silver and I get to pick it up today. Reason I'm buying gold and silver, safe haven assets, gonna play the pumps and dumps. Yes, everyone, it's not just the crypto market, precious metals as well. Now, I've been following auctions recently because a lot of it has to do with the strength of the economy, right? What is the spot price for X, Y, and Z commodities, right? So I've noticed recently we're starting to see a little bit of softness in auction pressure. We're seeing some S&P softness. We're seeing Russia raise rates more than expected. We're seeing Jerome Powell and other Fed presidents saying, might have to leave rates high for longer rather than going higher, but we might have to leave them high for longer, which would again stunt growth. So I'm starting to pick up more and more hints that the economy is softening. Now, is it softening super soft, like in the need of Viagra? No, because GDP numbers came out and they were really, really hot and juicy, which means we would have a better chance of a soft landing. Now, whether we have a soft landing or a recession, it doesn't change the fact that we will have at least one more year of Ripple Labs drama with the SEC. So, for those of you out there that have been following this, a lot of your comments have been, hey, we won't moon until the case is over. Hey, we can't get juicy price action until we're done with the SEC. Well, if that's the case and if that's what you believe, you've got another year to buy and hodl. You've got another year to buy the tip and sell the dip. You've got another year to stack. I'm stacking gold and silver. No, I'm not. I'm going to turn it around and sell it because I got it for juicy prices. It's all about opportunities out there, everyone, and knowing when to strike. I struck last night and might even strike more this weekend. What are you doing this weekend? Let me know in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on the SEC's fine with Ripple Labs. And is the SEC the best cheerleader for the price of XRP? I mean, come on. They're like the only ones moving it, right?